Hey there everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, so let's talk about that. So you might have noticed that I took a bit of a hiatus from YouTube, and that was because when I stopped making videos, I just needed to take a step back and work on my life, my real life. And YouTube was just kind of getting in the way of that. I was spending so much time focusing on YouTube and getting videos out and trying to decide what kind of content I wanted to make that I wasn't focusing on, the important stuff, like what am I gonna do with the rest of my life, that fun stuff. And because I wasn't focusing on the right things, everything was suffering. My channel was suffering, my mental health was suffering, my life was suffering. So I took a break, took a little time to myself to figure things out, figure out what my next steps were towards achieving my lifetime goals. And now that I feel that I'm on the right path and that I've figured a lot of things out, not everything, but I figured a lot of things out, I feel like I'm ready to get back into making videos. So here we are. I feel a lot better. I feel a lot less stressed. You can probably tell if you remember those last couple of videos I posted before my hiatus. I was kind of unraveling. I feel like you could see that. I have since taken the videos down because they're just too embarrassing to leave up, honestly. I just didn't want those on my channel anymore. So I took those down, and I took a few other videos down here and there that I just wasn't happy with or didn't want up for one reason or another. I considered taking all my videos down and starting completely fresh, but I was like, no, Leighton, that's a stupid idea. Don't do that. But I do still want this to be kind of a rebirth of the channel. Things are going to change. I want this to be a space where I feel calm and where I can enjoy myself. I want this to be my fun thing that I get to do for fun. So that's what I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it fun, and if it's not fun, then I'm not gonna do it. That's just how I'm gonna keep my sanity intact. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm excited to be here. So let's get into today's topic, which is a writing update. Because it's been so long, obviously you probably want to know what's going on with my writing, because this is a writing channel. So let's get into it. Starting off with the thing that a lot of you, if you're returning subscribers, are probably wondering, what's going on with the Caspian Chronicles. You may or may not be happy about what I have to tell you. The unfortunate truth is that I have shelved the Caspian Chronicles, and this isn't a case of, if you remember a few other times I said I was shelving it, but then I ended up working on it again because I had great ideas that were going to change it and make it the best thing ever, and then those never panned out, and then I took a break from it again. Like, this isn't that. I literally haven't worked on this book in months. It was sad for me at the time. It was really hard for me at the time to accept that I needed to shelve it, but I did it, and I feel so much better in the long run. So this is a good change. It's just unfortunate because I know some of you were really supportive of the project and you were interested in the project, so sorry, but it's not permanently shelved. I want to work on it eventually. Even during my shelving it, and not working on it, I've had ideas that I've scribbled down in notebooks and on my phone for the Caspian Chronicles for whenever I have the opportunity to work on it again. But for right now, I have shelved it and I'm moving on. And the reason I decided to shelve this project, there are actually multiple reasons. And the first reason was that I just felt like it was a giant mess. Like, the concept is awesome. I love the concept of it. I love the magic system still. I love the characters still. I love the characters. Like, if I didn't love the characters this much, I might be able to give up this book entirely, but I love the characters so much, like, I can't let go of them. But just in general, because I've been working on it for so long, and the fact that I wrote it my first year of college when I was at community college, and then I spent 3 years at my arts college where I was majoring in fiction writing, workshopping this book, it just kind of got a little, it went off course. And I think it went off course because I was learning how to write, obviously. That was the point of going to college, to learn to write. And so I was trying all of these different things. I was experimenting with this book. And unfortunately, that experimentation led to some things going awry. But on the other hand, I'm not upset about it because doing that experimentation helped me learn a lot of things about myself and my writing style and the types of things I like to write and how I like to write them. So I feel that I am a stronger writer because of it, and that in the future I will be able to write this book even better than the first time I wrote it. But because of that, because it got so messed up, I just feel like I need a lot of space from it now to really figure out how to fix it and to want to fix it, because at this point I've revised it and revised it and revised it so many times that I'm just honestly sick of looking at it. Like I just needed this break because I'm like, I can't look at this book anymore or I'm going to scream. The second reason I decided to shelve it was that it was really interfering with my self-confidence in my writing, in my ability to write. Because I was starting to get to the point where I felt like, is this the only book I can write? Am I able to write another book? Maybe I'm not. Maybe this is the only book I'll ever write, and then I will never be able to be a real professional published author because I'll never be able to write anything outside of this world that I've created. And it was just this mental spiral because, you know, you probably remember that I had started a couple of other projects and was excited about a couple of other projects, but they just weren't going anywhere. Every time I tried to write them, they just weren't going anywhere, and I kept going back to the Caspian Chronicles. I'd shelve the Caspian Chronicles, I'd try to write this other project, and then it wouldn't go anywhere. And I made videos about, you know, sometimes giving into the shiny thing is a good idea because it'll re-spark your creativity for this other project. And like, then the shiny new idea wasn't working out, and then the old project wasn't working out, and I felt very bad about it. And then I realized that the Caspian Chronicles was the problem. And it was the problem because I was putting so much of my heart and soul into this one book that I wasn't giving these other books the attention they deserved. You know, I had my heart set on the idea that the Caspian Chronicles was going to be my debut novel. It was the book that was going to get me published. And so because I had that line of thought, none of the other books seemed nearly as important. And if a project doesn't seem important to you, then you're not gonna give it 100% of your energy. And once I realized that that was part of the problem, it really helped me to make the decision to shelve the Caspian Chronicles and move on. And I'm very happy to say that it worked. As soon as I stopped giving the Caspian Chronicles all of my energy and I moved that energy to a different project, and I really accepted the fact that maybe this project is going to be my debut novel. Maybe this is the project that's going to get me published. I was able to write. I finished a new project. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but it really worked. So that was the second reason why I shelved the Caspian Chronicles. And then the third reason was just being smart about it. I came to the conclusion that, first of all, the Caspian Chronicles is a really complex novel. And I came to the conclusion that maybe I'm just not ready to write it to the point where it's going to be publishable. Maybe I need to learn a little bit more about writing. Maybe I need to write other books and actually explore how I like to write and what kinds of things I like to write. Again, do some more exploring, but like outside of the Caspian Chronicles. And also looking at the market. You know, right now I feel like the Caspian Chronicles, while I love it, I don't think the market is leaning towards it, and so no agent's gonna pick it up if the market's not leaning towards it. So just smart business move was kind of the last reason that I decided to put the Caspian Chronicles away. And honestly, it's a really hard book for me to pitch and to query because there's so much going on, and it is such a complex novel, and especially like all of the books in the series are so interwoven. It really, like, I felt like I needed to talk about the other books in the series to really sell the idea, and you can't do that when you're trying to get a debut novel out there. Like, that first book has to be strong enough to stand on its own, and so I feel like I'd have more of a chance to get that book in that series published once I am an established writer who people like my books and publishers know, like, okay, this is a safe bet to take because she's written things before and we know she's a good writer and we know that people like her. I mean, fingers crossed. Hopefully that's what happens. But, you know, that was like my thinking. So overall, I feel very content with the decision to hang up the Caspian Chronicles for now, to shelve it, to lock it away and hide the key from myself for just a little while. So with that being said, let's now move on to what I'm currently working on. Right now I'm working on a book that I have lovingly named on Twitter #CuteGayRomCom novel. It is a young adult contemporary romance novel that is sort of a new idea and sort of an old idea. And they just kind of meshed together in a beautiful way. So the old idea that this came from was, if you are a returning subscriber again and you remember me talking about some of the other projects that I was trying to work on, I had this one idea that was about these two boys who fall in love, but they live in this small, conservative, religious town, and one of the boys is super religious, so he kind of has trouble, he struggles with his sexuality because of his religion. And it was kind of this angsty teen coming-of-age novel, and I really liked that idea, but I really had a lot of trouble writing it because, I mean, the frank way of putting it is that it wasn't my story to tell, and I didn't have the experience to write something like that, and so it wasn't coming easily or naturally, and I wasn't really enjoying writing it. It just didn't have that thing, you know, that spark that made me feel inspired when I sat down to write it. Instead, I just kind of felt like, I was kind of wobbly on the concept, and I was honestly going to shelve it, but then this other idea came along, and the two just meshed so perfectly that I got really lucky. And this other idea was what turned it from being this angsty coming-of-age novel to just a cute, fun rom-com type of book, where it's just more lighthearted now, and there's a lot more fluffy moments, and overall it's just something that I'm having a lot more fun writing. It plays on a couple of tropes that are my all-time favorite tropes, so that's a lot of fun. And I'm just having a blast. I mean, there are hard days because I'm in the revision stages now, and revising can be hard, and I kind of almost forgot how much I don't like revising because I had been revising the Caspian Chronicles for so long that it was just my natural state of being. But then once I started drafting this novel, I was like, oh my god, drafting, so fun, awesome, cool. And then I got to revisions and I was like, oh, I don't like this nearly as much as I thought I did. Like, not the book, but like the actual act of revising. I was like, ooh, this is not as much fun as I remember it being for the Caspian Chronicles, so there's hard days, but overall I feel really good about the story. So I finished drafting the whole thing. I did it in like 2.5 months, maybe even less than that. It went really fast, but also it's a really short first draft. Like, I was like 2,000 words short of 50,000 words, and that's like 20,000 words short of what I want it to be at, so revisions are really going to be for filling in and trying to get everything down that my underwriting self wasn't able to get down in that first draft. And actually, I'm calling that draft zero draft because there was so much missing in it that I couldn't justify calling it a first draft. So now I'm revising it to get it to first draft quality. That's where I'm at right now. And then once I finish revising it, I'm a little over halfway through revising it. So once I finish revising it, then I think I'm just gonna hand it over to my friends Lexi and Gabby. They're kind of my critique partners, alpha readers. I'm gonna have them read it and give me their feedback about what things they feel are missing, because I know there's things missing, but I just need outside opinions, and I want them to tell me like what's missing and what they think could be better. And then I'm gonna, if they say like certain scenes that they'd like to see, I'm gonna add those scenes. If they have specific suggestions, I'm gonna do that. And then once I do all of that, I'm going to print out this manuscript. This is the first time I've ever done this, so we're going to see how it works. But when I was in college, I really enjoyed marking up other people's stories with edits and suggestions. Like pen and paper edits were just, I really enjoyed doing them. And I think it might help me to objectively edit my story, because when you're sitting in front of a computer and you have the ability to just instantly type something, fix something, whatever, you're not looking at the big picture as much as if it's printed out and you can't automatically make the change, you've just got to mark it. Then later, if you're reading and you get to a different chapter and you see like, oh, this scene is kind of duplicated, or oh, I'd rather this scene go here, then you can mark it, and then things will probably flow better. It's hard to describe, but in my head it's a really good idea, so we're gonna see if it actually works in reality. And yeah, so that's where I am with that project. Feeling good about it. I have a ton of other projects lined up. I think once I hand the first revisions off to Lexi and Gabby, I might start drafting a different book and try to get into a good habit of working on a couple of books at the same time, just because I have so many ideas. I want to be able to write them all, and I feel like I can't if I'm only spending 3 years working on a single book like I did with the Caspian Chronicles, so I want to at least try and see if I'm able to do that, if I'm able to jump between projects and have good outcomes. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. I will keep you updated in the future when more things happen. Hopefully videos, yeah, I've been filming for a while, so hopefully future writing updates won't be this long. I'm gonna try though to make sure that I'm only updating when there's like big updates, so I'm not just telling you I did nothing this week, woohoo, because those videos were giving me massive anxiety when I was making them before my hiatus, because I kind of felt like a failure, you know, updating you guys just to say not much has happened or I got more rejections on my query. Like, that just feels shitty. So I only want to do positive updates, or, you know, if I've hit a major roadblock and I need to talk it out, those are the kinds of videos I want. Those are the kind of updates I want to make. I don't want to make videos that are going to stress me out or make me feel inferior in some way. Overall, we're just taking care of my mental health. This is going to be my nice, happy, safe space, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into making these videos. This is the third time I've tried to film this specific video though, but I feel very good about this take because I'm calmer. I think that's what I want. Before, I was really trying to be the most upbeat, happy version of myself in my videos because I felt that was more entertaining to watch. But honestly, like, even though I am a very upbeat and happy person, I'm a goofy person, I want to be calmer in these videos. Like, not like to the point of, is she even alive? Poke her to make sure. But like, I just want to be able to sit down, and I want to not overheat because I'm moving around all over the place, and I want to be entertaining because of the content I'm making and not because of the fool I'm making of myself. So, and you might think I wasn't really being that overactive or whatever, but I can feel the difference in my body and in my soul. I just feel so calm and relaxed right now, and this is definitely what I want from future videos. Just a nice sit down and chat video. So with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm very excited to be back. If you did like this video, you know what to do. There's a like button, there's a subscribe button, there's a comment section, whatever it trips your fancy. Is that the saying? Trips your fancy? And I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!